I'm Melissa.
I'm Jason.
Welcome to Wine and Horror.
Alright guys, so today we are drinking one of our all-time favorites, a good standby. Honestly, this one's a really good drinking wine. You could have it pretty much every day. It's a really good price point, amazing price point really. And this is the first time we've had the 2015 version. We've been drinking this for a few years. But the previous vintages were really good. And honestly, I'm liking the 15 better than I think any of the previous ones that we've had so far.
I really like this one. This one's good.
But this one is called Petite, and this is from a winemaker called Michael David.
You got to show the front of the bottle.
I'm sorry, I will show the other side as well. And
that's the front of the bottle.
They kind of have a really cool graphic on there too. Kind of make it look like a like a circus tent type atmosphere going on. Anyway, we'll get into a little bit more about the winemaker in the next video. But here we're going to tell you a little bit about this wine and you know, the way this one's drinking and some of the characteristics of it. So not picking up a ton on the nose, but a little bit.
Could be their allergies are acting up. I've been having problems with my allergies today.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to smell things quite the same as I normally do.
I'm going to tell you it's berry in the aroma for sure, but I am having a little bit of sinus thing going on here.
As far as taste, I'm picking up a lot of blueberry in this one, and I love blueberries. I'm like a fiend for blueberries.
I definitely get a lot of blueberry on this.
Not sweet like
no, it's not blueberry
or like
juice.
Eating blueberry
this is still wine.
Like,
this is dry wine.
Wine
right?
is like I
sweet.
said, it picks up characteristics, and it's a subtle characteristic, but it reminds you of blueberries when you're drinking it. And I just love it.
Definitely getting the blueberry.
Is some good wine.
I'm getting a little bit of vanilla on this as well. And it's got a really nice finish. I mean, it's dry, and it's got a nice texture to this wine.
And it evolves. It's got a lot of punch. There's a lot of just good things going on with this one. I
Sign of a good wine, really. If that finish goes, I'm going to tell you a quick story. So, I saw a thing on, I don't know, one of the national news networks where they were doing a kind of hidden tasting with people who didn't understand wine. And they were kind of trying to say that cheap wines, it doesn't matter if you have cheap wine or expensive wine. And I would tell you, if you understand wine, and
you know the difference, you really do.
If you have the ability to pick apart the taste, not everybody does. Truly, not everybody does. Some people cannot. And if you can't, then drink the cheap stuff. Drink box wine. Doesn't matter.
That being said, some cheap wines are
let's
not call them cheap. More like
of course.
Less expensive.
Yes.
Can be really good wines.
But they were taking expensive looking bottles of wine and putting cheap wine in them. And then they were interviewing people and asking what they thought. And I thought it was really an unfair kind of a show about this, because the people were complete amateurs who they were asking about it.
Right.
And the guy was saying
Robert Parker or anything testing out this wine.
So the guy one of the guys they interviewed that was drinking the wine says, "Oh, I really like it because it doesn't have that aftertaste that keeps going on and on and on." Well, that's actually.
But that's one of the things we like about
a characteristic of good wine is that it has a finish that keeps going. The finish evolves and you keep getting flavors long after you've taken a sip of the wine.
Right.
And cheap wine will have no finish
and
or almost no finish and lay flat. And that's part of what makes it a cheap wine. And so it's kind of silly to hear somebody critiquing a wine who knew nothing about wine, obviously.
Right, and I think it would have been better served for that news channel to actually have people that actually drink wine on a regular basis, that actually know wine.
Right.
We're not talking about people that, you know, oh, I drink wine on the weekends with my friends, and mostly it's just box wine. That's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But there is a difference between that and really getting to know wine, like really going and doing a lot of wine tastings and trying
truly understanding it.
Yeah, and that isn't always about, you know, being expensive. Like I said, there's a lot of good bottles of wine out there that are not very expensive. But you know, they're not very easy to find. This is one bottle of wine right here, the Petit Petit. I think it's what, $16 a bottle. It's a good bottle of wine for $16. I mean,
it's cheaper than that. We got this for $12.
It's a good bottle of wine for that.
And I would say it goes between 12 and 16 regionally, depending on where you're at and how much your local store is marking it up. But we can get this for about $12 where we're at. And in previous years, it's been even as much as 20. But even for that,
most of the time you can get it for a lot less.
It's usually, I would say, ballpark $15, right? Again, we got it for 12. This is a really amazing wine for this price, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it in the next video. So, bring us to our next point here. Talk a bit about horror. We've talked about wine, so let's bring you to the next point. So we picked up another pop, and it's related to a horror movie that recently we've enjoyed. It's called Death Note.
And you can find it on Netflix.
Yeah.
We just recently stumbled upon it. I think it might be after a comic or something, but I have no idea anything about that. The very first time I ever heard about it is through the movie. And we decided to watch it together. So
yeah, and it was decent. I mean, it's not gonna blow your socks off. It's not the new It movie.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, it's not crazy.
But it's worth the watch. It's cool. Yeah. You know, you're watching this channel. You're into the genre, and worth a watch. Worth a couple hours of your time. Really, the premise is this high school kid. Gets this book just he gets into a fight, gets knocked out. He wakes up and this book kind of lands, in his possession, and it's called Death Note, the book, and it's kind of a creature feature, so not super scary.
Actually, I think the book shows up when he's sitting on the bleachers or something.
Anyway, book shows up in his possession, and the kid starts kind of trying to, wander through the book and trying to understand it, reading it. He's in detention class, right? Or detention. And he starts looking at it, and all of a sudden these noises start happening, and he's in there all alone, and the teacher had left, and this creature shows up and starts talking to him. And
it's like a demon type creature.
Yeah. And the creature's kind of cool. He's pretty funny, actually. And
I don't know if it's Willem Dafoe.
I don't know.
Is that a creature? We didn't really look that up.
I haven't looked it up, but that's who it reminded me of.
It sounds a lot like him.
It looked like him. It sounded like him. Didn't look it up. I don't know. But anyway, and the creature kind of befriends him and kind of coaxes him into, and the whole thing is that if he there's all these rules in the book, but in the back page, or the back pages are blank, and there's some handwritten things from other people who have possessed the book in the past, and if you possess the book, you have to think of an image of someone's face and write their name while you're thinking of the image of their face, and you can write someone who you want to die. And you can even write how they die and when they die in this book.
So that's about the most spoilers we're going to give you.
As long as it's within the next 48 hours. Right? So
I don't want to give you too many spoilers.
Yeah. But you have to check it out. It's worth a watch.
And I thought the movie was really cute. Was it super scary?
No,
not at all. I would not consider it to be scary. But I thought it was a very cute movie. It's definitely the high school type startup, to a lot of horror movies. Some high school kid meets a girl and, all that kind of stuff. And, he stumbles upon this book type of thing. And, we've all seen that before. But the thing that I think really makes the movie is the creature. The demon creature is funny.
Yeah.
I love his laugh. I mean... He makes me laugh when I'm listening to it. So, it's a cute movie and it's good. It's definitely worth watching. So, did you have anything else you want to say about it?
No, but you should show them the pop.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the pop of Rick, which is the demon creature in the movie. And he's holding a little apple. And the reason why is because he loves to eat apples, which I can totally relate to because I eat an apple almost every single day. I love apples, and blueberries are my 2 favorite fruits. So I really happen to like him a lot just simply because of that reason. And because his laugh is totally hilarious and he's just cute. So, and here's the box. Of course, the pop is no longer in the box, but you know, if you guys haven't seen this movie, you really should. The other things on the back, I'm not really interested. I'm the type, like, I do not like pops or I guess figures that are just of people. Right. I'm more into the creatures, or if it's people, it's got to be like Bruce Campbell or something. Like, I'm not into like you know, like if you get something from the Stray, I don't care about getting the Efren guy. What's his name? His name, yeah. I mean, is he a cool character in the movie? Well, or in the show? Well, sure he is, but he's not what makes the show in my mind. It's more the creatures and the real characters. So yeah. That's just my opinion. Doesn't, you know, everybody's got their own thing, and that's all cool. I'm not saying anything bad about that, but for me, that's just, I don't like to buy. I wouldn't buy all the other pops. I only want Rick from Death Note, just because he's extra cool. So, and that's it. So,
alright guys, hit the like button and leave us a comment. Let us know if you've seen this. Let us know what your thoughts were on the movie. Yeah,
I'd love to hear about it. If you haven't seen it, then definitely go and watch it. It is a cute movie, and I think you guys will like it. So, cheers.
Cheers.